Al Pacino's a Taurus. Marilyn Monroe was a Gemini. Oprah is an Aquarius. What sign are you? I'm Jill Preston, your planetary voice to love, career, money, and success. Astrology is as big as the stars.
Good day, everyone. I'd like to better understand, help you better understand and work with Neptune in the first house, or Neptune conjunct your rising sign. Because Neptune is kind of a very mysterious energy. It's a beautiful energy. It's a healing energy. It's a fluid energy. It's an energy of creative, artistic expression. Neptune is the modern day ruler of Pisces, which is a water sign. And Pisces is the ruler of the 12th house in the zodiac. So to help you understand your own Neptunian story here, maybe understanding Pisces or the 12th house will also help you to understand your Neptune. So Neptune presents this energy where the rose-colored glasses effect is on, or the 3D glasses are on. And either the people you're dealing with or involved with want to see you and express yourself in a certain way, or you're projecting what you want to see on them. It can go both ways with Neptune in the first or rising sign. I want you to be this character today, and if the person that you're with isn't projecting that character, you can be very disappointed. You can be hurt. You can be mad. You can be angry. If they are portraying the character you like, you could be happy about it. You know, the rose-colored glass effect. People will see you a certain way, you will see them a certain way, and people will want you to be a certain way, like a chameleon. And that's why many people with Neptune conjunct the ascendant or in the first, they get into character very easily. They can play whatever character you want them to play. It's true. And I naturally had been doing my Neptune all along. I just didn't know it. When I started figure skating at age 6, I started doing axles within a short period of time. I took to the ice so naturally and so gifted. Most people who get on ice and are skating, they don't do that. They need to really get their balance and they're not sure, is this going to work or not? Me, I went on the ice and that was it for me. You would have thought I was skating for hundreds of years or something. And the other thing is I used to channel on road trips, be dead quiet in the car, and I would just start channeling historians and talking and getting into character. I did all that. And the other way I have worked with my Neptune, or how it has shown up for me or played out, is that whenever there has been depression in the field, the energy field, or hurt, or sadness, or people just down in the dumps, I have kind of been that person who brings light to the situation. And it's just the way it is. People have also seen me as someone very mysterious, that I have this very mysterious quality about me, like they really don't know where I go and what I'm doing, which I kind of like it that way, because I am a very private person in so many ways, even though you wouldn't think I was with Libra rising. Libra rising, you think, hey, what's up? Now I can do that too. I can be out and about and, chatting everybody up, but there's another side to me that is such an important side. I have to have alone time. I have to have time out time. I have to have artistic, creative expression, spiritual time to create, to get in touch with how I'm really feeling. That's really big for me with Neptune in the first house. Some of you who have Neptune in the first or rising, you may find it's big for you also. You may find you don't always want to go to everything you're invited to. I get invited to many things, but I can't go to them all. I don't want to go to them all. If I go, I stay for a short time. And then I say, I got to get going. The energy is too much for me sometimes when I'm out with other people. And it's just the way it is. When you carry this energy, you know what I'm talking about. It's a gift. It's a gift, I think, to have Neptune conjunct the rising sign or in the first house. I do think it is a gift. The problem is that those of us who carry us, we never saw it that way necessarily until it made itself known to us. And I just remember I've had so many moments, like epiphany moments in life where you can't explain what has happened. I've had people when I used to work in medical sales, they would come up to me or they would just say stuff to me like, are you a healer? Are you an angel? And I've never met them before in my life. I'm going up an elevator, me and another person, and this person in the elevator just says these things to me. I've had that happen numerous times where it's this one-to-one interaction. Nobody else is around except me and this other person, and something happens. There was a lady who was really down in the dumps at this one hospital, and I happened to be in the waiting room, and I just smiled over at her, and she came up to me, she goes, I want to thank you for smiling at me. I was like, whoa. So it's like, yeah, we can all have moments like that, but I think when you have Neptune in the first or Neptune conjunct your ascendant, you really have moments like that. You really have moments, and you're blown away when people say, wow, you've helped me so much, or your presence here has helped me heal. I get calls a lot from friends and family when the shit has hit the fan. I seem to be the first person on speed dial. Oh my God. It's like, whoa. It's like they all call me. They call me. Jill, can you pray for us? Jill, can you come out and see the dogs or the horses? They're not doing so well. Could you maybe just come out and, spend some time with us? And Jill, just a little bit of your time. It just feels so good to talk to you. And I just feel so better talking to you. And, it's just a gift having Neptune in the first or Neptune conjunct the rising sign. It's a gift. And everybody that carries it will have to make their own definition of what that gift means for them. When you look at musicians, when you look at famous actors and actresses out in the world, getting interviewed, going on daytime talk shows, performing in an arena with their music, they have sunglasses on, don't they? Dark lenses, a lot of them. Have you ever wondered why? To me, that's the Neptune effect. The Neptune effect. I'm not really interested in seeing you, so you're going to see me in the way you want to see me. When you're not wearing your sunglasses, people can see you, see your eyes. The Neptune effect is I'm covering my eyes today and wearing my sunglasses because I really don't want you to see me today. It's like you close the curtains. They said Elvis Presley used to sleep with blackout curtains, but I think really the whole room had to be totally dark for him. No lights on, nothing. Now, I know a lot of people sleep with blackout curtains and the room has to be super dark to get a good night's sleep and, no light in the room and everything like that. And that to me is kind of the Neptune effect also. No lights on. They're off right now. We're not turning them on. The light is too bright. The light is too bright. You can't always be in the Neptunian state. And so how it shows up for you, only you will know by working with it. If you're artistic, if you're creative, if you do photography, if you're into healing, if you're into Reiki, if you're a massage therapist, if you're a doctor, if you are someone who deals with healing of any nature, any kind, massage therapy, spas, Reiki, yoga, meditation, anybody who does content creation, behind the scenes stuff, anybody who does a lot of work behind the scenes in your own bubble. You go into the music studio, you play all day for a month, or you go on a movie set and you're gone for a year. You're in your Neptunian bubble. Nobody is going to really be able to reach you, so to speak. And, when we are in our Neptunian bubble, we turn off our phones. We don't have time to get the phone. We're busy doing our Neptune. I can't explain Neptune, you guys. It's hard to explain it in a concrete way. And so I'm just going with it. I'm just going to go with the flow of Neptune here. If you look at the water and you look at the waves of the water and you look at the tides of the ocean, you can't define the size of the waves. Every wave is different, right? The depth of the ocean is different in many places. You just can't define it, but it exists. It exists. There's this beautiful Neptunian bubble that exists, and sometimes we want to totally escape in the bubble and not return. It's true. Because the harsh realities of the world can be devastating. And people that have Neptune conjunct the rising sign or in the first house, they can't I personally don't like to hear about all this horrific stuff going on in the world. Now I do. When you do astrology, you do have to pay attention to a lot of what's going on in the world. It's just the way it is. But believe me, where other people may be tuned in to a storyline, I've turned it off a long time ago. I got the bits and pieces or the headlines I needed, but I'm not going to go into all the gruesome, gross stuff that has happened of what evil can do in the world. When you have a strong Neptune, you don't want to most people with Neptune in the first, or Neptune conjunct the ascendant, they're not going to necessarily want to hear these horrific, horroring stories and events. They could, but I would say it would be a very rare thing. They're more interested in healing the wounding that's going on. They can self-sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Neptune people, Neptune in the first, Neptune rising people, we will sacrifice our own self for the greater good of the world. There's that saying, and I've said it in some of my videos here, put your own oxygen mask on first. But when you have Neptune in the first, or Neptune conjunct the ascendant, sometimes you do not put your oxygen mask on first. You let other people have your oxygen mask, and you can get walked on, and people can take advantage of you, and people can rob you blind of all the money you have, or they can steal from you, or people can promise that they will pay you back the money they owe you, and you're going to believe them because you really do want to believe that, hey, they're good people, and hey, that's my friend, and I know my friend will pay me back my money. And then you find out your friends and those people you let borrow the money because you were trying to be the good person and help them, they're nowhere to be found. Neptunian energy can get taken advantage of really easily. And so if you have this, you need to really be careful and be mindful, because you're going to want to save the world. You're going to want to heal the world. You're going to want to put a smile on everyone's face. But that's not your job at the end of the day. We think it's our job sometimes with Neptune there in the first, or the rising sign. But it's not, and that's our own deception about Neptune. So you see, the deception can work both ways. we see the things, we see things the way we want to see them, and others see them the way they want to see them. The rose-colored glasses, the sunglass effect, the 3D glasses effect. Have you ever been into a movie theater with the 3D glasses, and the next thing you know, you're in a movie theater 1 minute, but the next thing you know, you're out in outer space because of the 3D glasses? That's the Neptune effect. That's why a lot of people with Neptune in the first or Neptune rising are fabulous actors and actresses. They can get into character. They know what to do. They can tap into it. It's got this psychic, epiphany type energy, healer energy, angelic energy, godlike energy associated with it. And people will put you on a pedestal sometimes. And you're like not really understanding why they did that. It's true. I have a sister who said to me, you really should have done more with, that. You could have done so much more. Why didn't you? I'm like, what? I don't even know what she was talking about. It's like people that have Neptune in the first or the rising, we don't even know what you guys are seeing or projecting on us because your eyes are projecting it on us. It's very interesting energy. Neptune rising, Neptune in the first. I'm basically sharing my Neptune story with you. So maybe those of you who are trying to really understand it and work with it yourself can understand it more. Whether you have a tight conjunction of Neptune conjunct the ascendant in the, first, 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3, 4, whatever, or if it's in the first house, it's going to be part of your persona somehow, some way, this lifetime. And again, you may not even know it's in operation mode. Others will say things to you, and then you will go, oh, I get it. So really look to how others are responding to you to see how the Neptune is being ignited, how they're seeing you. A lot of judgment with Neptune rising and Neptune in the first. A lot of self-sacrifice, a lot of taking advantage. That's the downside of having Neptune conjunct the rising sign or Neptune in the first. We sometimes are totally out of touch with reality because it's more fun, it's more enjoyable. Think about it. When you have Neptune in the first or Neptune rising, you don't want to worry about, I got to pay my mortgage this month. I'm not doing it. I'm not in the mood. I'd rather paint. I'd rather channel. I'd rather, do something else. I'm helping the world heal. Why do I have to be responsible for these burdens, these financial burdens with the work that I'm doing? And a lot of people can see you very kind of angelic, spiritual, and intuitive, and, psychic, you name it, that it's just there. So I'm going to close there and say, if you have Neptune in the first or Neptune conjunct the ascendant, I hope this has helped you a little bit get into the character of Neptune or understanding the character of Neptune and understanding when you've got Neptune on and others are seeing your Neptune, but you're not. And you'll have these moments in life where you can't even explain what really happened. I've had many moments where you would have had to be there to believe my story of things that have happened to me. Okay? So I'm going to end there. All my best. Have a stellar day. God bless everyone.